All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. It is April 29th for our team call, and we've got a treat tonight. This is going to be an actual training call. So sometimes we interview top leaders and we get motivated, inspired. We learn top tips, maybe things that can help you take your business to the next level. This is really a training where we're going to share with you a tool. And what's so cool, Isagenix is getting better and better. I mean, I remember when we got started 7 years ago, there were very few tools that could help us. And now what I love is there's new tools coming out constantly. The IsaLife app, I've been stepping up my game on that. Great tool. Now people can not only be coached through the program, they can track what they're eating, they can track their workouts, they can sign up for IsaBody finally from their app, and they just keep improving the app. And so they can place their orders from their app. So there's always tools. I love the Isa Tools app, where you can, if you're meeting someone new, you can send them a video, then you can track to see if they've watched the video. And it's funny, I sent the video to Maria on the call tonight. Her husband is my chiropractor, and I sent him a video, and he actually forwarded on that video to several people, and I kept getting message after message after message of all these people. So I'm like, hey, you need to follow up. Everybody you're sending that video to is watching that video. I get a notification. So I love that they're so integrative and they're innovative, and they're constantly coming up with new tools for us. So you guys are going to love the Social Design Studio. And some of you may not have even heard of it. Some of you may have heard of it, saw there was a fee involved and thought, and kind of shook it off. And some of you are frustrated because maybe you have it and you haven't mastered it yet. And you're not the only one. So trust me, I struggled with it first. Maureen just raised her hand. But we've got a great training tonight that Zoe did, my son's girlfriend. She was going to be on live. They ended up having to change a flight, and she's in the air right now. So we pre-recorded this video, and I'm going to share it with you in just a moment. But first, I want to take advantage, and I want to recognize all of our influencers. So for those of you that have been following an Isa for Wealth, to be an influencer, this started at the beginning of the year, you need to enroll 10 new people. And it doesn't matter what pack they're on, and it doesn't matter, I've gotten the question, what if they're not active anymore? It's okay. If you have enrolled 10 people since the beginning of the year, and they had activating orders, so 15 BV is not going to count, but as long as it was 100 BV or over and they were active, they count. And if you rank advanced to personally enrolled consultants, you have to let us know in that post, and you are now an influencer. What that means is you're going to get some special recognition. We're going to get a gift off to you now. We're going to recognize you at our team party at Celebration. And then we're going to open up some special trainings that are going to be just for you. So we're hoping that all of you guys are influencers. We're going to put the deadline of being recognized at Celebration for July 1st so that we can make sure gifts are ordered and we're ready to go to recognize you at Celebration. So the following people that I know of, and if I miss anyone, type in the chat box. If I miss you, I updated this just recently, so if I miss you, make sure you type your name in the chat box and let us know. But first, we've got Lisa Maciel. Lisa, raise your hand. We're so excited for you. Jackie Proctor. Jackie, if you're on, raise your hand. Everybody, if you're on camera, raise your hand when I call your name. Sarah Farnsworth. Brandon and Maria Reneker, Molly Liggett, Dana Randazzo, Susan Wheeler, Tiffany Keller, Allison Lindstrom, Teresa Banworth, Doug Johnson, Ann Baranti, Lori Keene, and the newest one, Angie Papa. So guys, we're so proud of you. It is quite an accomplishment. And what I love about this is when you are enrolling and you're rank advancing people, you are really growing your business. Both things are important. And I know sometimes there's seasons of enrolling and you're bringing on a lot of new people, and then sometimes there's seasons of you're working with your team and you're really trying to help them rank advance. So finding a way to balance both of them is really what will help you grow an extremely successful business. All right, so next I'm gonna share my screen with you. And I'm gonna show you how simple it is for those of you that have not signed up yet for the Social Design Studio. It is in your back office, so this is super easy to do. You're gonna go under the resource tab once my computer updates here for me. And right here, under the resource tab, you're gonna click on go to social, or let's see, go to Social Design Studio, and you'll be able to sign up. Because I've already signed up, it's not saying sign up. You guys will be able to sign up, and you're gonna be able to get started, and you'll be able to sign up for this. It's simply $9.95 a month to do this. And you're going to find the value is absolutely incredible. So what I'm going to do is play the video of Zoe doing this training. It's almost 25 minutes long. And if you guys want to take notes, feel free to take notes. You can watch it again. I will post this link because it was a separate YouTube link. I'll post it again so people can watch it. And of course, it'll be part of this video. I guess you wouldn't even need to do that. But if someone just wanted to watch this part of the training, I'll share it in the comments. But Zoe does a great job explaining to you why she loved it so much, what the benefits are, and she's going to walk you through some hands-on creating of posters. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play, get started.
Hi guys, my name is Zoe, and I appreciate you guys having me on the call today. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there live. I'm actually flying right over the Pacific Ocean as you guys are watching this right now. I'm currently in Hawaii.
Oh boy. What on earth? Isn't that something?
Currently in Hawaii. We were here for a couple weeks to help a team build. We had a really successful few weeks here. We're actually on our way to LA to help another team member, and then we'll see a lot of you guys in New Jersey on Thursday. But I'm here to talk to you guys about the new social media design studio that Isagenix put out, because it's seriously life-changing, guys. It doesn't matter if you're good on Instagram, if you're good on Facebook, or you're not good on either. Like, this is super beneficial for everybody because recognition is everything for teams. So I'm going to kind of go over the basics on how this has helped me and my team, and help them, you know, kind of feel really recognized, and also have a really awesome, super cohesive design. Because the way that Isagenix did this is, it's literally for dummies. Like, anybody can do this. Your 2-year-old can probably figure it out. It's just plugging in different pictures and text. And if you have a creative itch like I do, you get to change a lot of things around. But it's super, super simple. And it's really, really important for those of you who haven't already purchased it. I know that Cindy's going to kind of go over the details for that. So I'm going to go over what's inside the studio so you guys can take a look at what I've done and hopefully apply it to your teams and apply it to your social media. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys here so you can take a look and see what I'm looking at. And here we are. So when you first purchase this, it might not look like this. I've actually already created like little folders for myself. It has my name at the top here. You've got, you know, these are just some posters I've created because we actually moved, we don't have a Facebook page anymore. We moved it to Instagram. So these are like some inspirational stories that we've been posting. But so when you first get in here, there are a couple things there you can do. So I'm actually going to show you guys first what I have been able to create already, just to give you an idea, and we'll kind of walk through and create a post together, show you guys how it works and why it's worked so well for me. So I have created all kinds of stuff. I started my own YouTube channel. So like I created, you know, like a little picture here of like our Peru, like a Peru video. So I did that here. We are always promoting our team calls. So I made like a team promotion call where if we want to celebrate a success story. I've done one with Zach and Eden, Jared and Sharia. We had a new consultant. I made him a banner. Every week we are doing recognition for our top cyclers that week. So this was a really cool graphic we made. We had 6 1 week. I made that Isagenix nursing schedule down here. I spoke at a Super Saturday and I got to make my own poster from it. We had an Oahu Super Saturday. I got to put that together. Seriously, guys, this just takes a few minutes to put this stuff together. So it's really, really cool. I started a LinkedIn account. I made myself a really nice LinkedIn banner here, all kinds of stuff, and they're all very different. You can change the colors, you can change the text, you can change the pictures. It's all very cohesive and very well put together. So this is what's possible, and a lot of what Isagenix already has in there is already being done for you. So we'll go back here. Most of you won't have anything here. So what you're going to want to do when you first log in here is, one, I would do the video tutorial. I would absolutely 100% do that. I might get a little repetitive on this, but if you haven't already done that, make sure you do that, because it's just free information. It helps you really maximize your time on here, because you don't need to be spending more time than you need to on this. Now there's a bunch of different things that you can do with this. The one that I really like is the congrats and the leadership one. The star ranking is pretty cool. This one shows you a bunch of different things, you know, when people hit 1 star and 2 star and 3 star and things like that. So I'll just kind of give you guys an example. So let's say that you have a new 3 star or 2 star, we'll say 2 star on your team. So you would just click this here, and it usually takes a few minutes to load, because it is loading a bunch of graphics and things like that. And one thing that has helped me a ton is I actually collected a folder on my computer of recognition pictures. So I'll show you guys that in a minute. So you know, this is very simple. So 2 star golden circle, and then, you know, this is already, you know, done. There's like my name. I can change it to, you know, whoever I want. I'll just leave it right there. And that's cool. So really, if I chance to have the name here, the only thing I need to do is change my picture. So Isagenix has all these really cool things in here. So what we're going to do is, you want to click the picture, and you actually want to click this button here. So you can either click My Uploads, because that's going to be where your pictures are, or you want to click or drop images here. So if I happen to have any downloadable items, I'm on a Mac computer, by the way, they would show up here at the bottom, and you can actually just drag them in. But I'm just going to click so that I can go to my folders. And so I've got a bunch of folders here. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to my desktop, because I actually have a recognition folder on my computer, because I do a lot of the recognition for my team, and I am constantly asking people for pictures. So what I've actually done, if you have a lot of leaders, or you have like some new people, I always ask them for headshots. I'm like, hey, for future recognition, can you give me a picture of yourself so that I could recognize you going forward? So I have like a lot of our team in here already. And so all I would need to do is just go to that folder, and here's me. I have myself in here. So I will just click that, and once that's clicked, it's actually going to pop up right there, and you're done. Now, if I wanted to change things, I don't know if you guys can see that. I can't click these other things, like this little graphic here. I can change these other things, but some I can't click, and that's because it's locked. So there's a bunch of other things that you can do with this, and I won't get into too much, because the video tutorials do a pretty good job of this. But if you go down here, so I was here with the camera on the right here, that's where I got my picture. So if you go down here to these pictures of like pieces of paper on each other, these are layers. And so you can actually layer things on top of each other, and that's how you're kind of able to control that. So the reason I can't click this thing here is because it's locked. And so I have to unclick it. And I have to make sure if that was it. Yep, so this was the shape. So now that I've unlocked it with this lock button here, I actually can move it and put it anywhere I want to. So it's actually not like a line, it's like a square, and it's just kind of highlighting. And so if I want, the top of this is the bottom. So the bottom layer. So all of this, like this picture and these texts, these are all further on top of it. So and what you can do is you can actually move the layers to give it some kind of cooler effect. So if I were to move this shape in front of the image, you see how that covers that now? But it's because it's layered on top now. And that's kind of important, because they will lock some features already. And if you're like frustrated and you're like clicking it, it's probably because it's a locked feature, and most of them you actually can unlock, and you can move them around. So all you have to do is just we'll move the shape back, because I like that there. And if you, like, the reason they have that is because if you like wanted to create your own, and the only thing that you wanted to be able to change is like the picture and the text, you can actually lock all of these other things. So let's say that like this one, that's text one, we're gonna lock that, because I don't ever wanna move that. This one, we're gonna lock that. So we can literally lock everything so that like I don't accidentally mess anything up. And that way, the only thing that I ever, like the only thing that's clickable is my name and my picture. So that's kind of helpful to know moving forward. We'll play with another one. And so another big thing is if you want to save it so you can actually download a bunch of different things. I personally recommend when you're downloading an image to download it as a JPEG, mostly because it's going to take up a lot less space on your computer. A JPEG file is a lot smaller than a PNG. I'm not like a computer expert, but that's what I know. So if you were to save that, you can save it here. You can name it whatever you like. So I can name this Zoe 2-star golden circle, and I can press download if I want to download it and post it. So I can do that, or I can just like save it if I don't want to do it. I'll just show you guys like download, and I'll download it as a PNG, or I'm sorry, a JPEG file, and it downloads it to your computer. If you don't have a Mac, I apologize. I don't know how PCs work. But one thing I like to do is I actually like to airdrop these, or I like to message these out to myself. You can also just drag these to your iPhotos. But one thing I really like to do, since I do have a Mac computer, is if you click this little arrow here, you can click Show in Finder. And once it's showing you in Finder, yep, so that's where this is. And if you click that, if you click this little arrow here, it's a box with an arrow in it, and it's share the selected items. There's a lot of different options. You can mail this to yourself, you can message this to somebody, you can airdrop it to yourself, or you can add it to photos. I personally like to airdrop this to my iPhone. I don't know why I don't have it right here, but all you need to do is just have your Bluetooth on, and you just click airdrop. So what happens when you click airdrop is you actually, my iPhone would show up here. Yeah, so that's my iPhone. So I can actually click that, and it will airdrop automatically to my iPhone, and it'll import into my photos, and then I can post it on Instagram, I can post it on Facebook, I can post it on a story. It doesn't matter, it goes anywhere and everywhere. So you can use that. So that's that. I don't recommend pressing this X button unless you like want all of your stuff deleted. So I don't need this saved, and I've already downloaded it. So I'm just gonna click the exit button because I know I've already downloaded this, but normally you would just press save. So let's look at a different one. I don't normally use that one. I really, really like this leadership one because there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. I really like recognizing my top cyclers and my top enrollers. That's what we do. Or if somebody's like new to the START community, or they're new to the team, there's a lot of different other things that you can do this for. And you can also do like stories and things like that. So let's do one. Let's say that you had somebody who became a consultant. Let's say that she's got like an awesome picture, and I'm going to use this leader in action formula. So like or this template. So you don't have to use, whatever it says, that you can change the text to whatever you like. These are just templates for you to plug in your own information and your own content in. So let's try this. And there's a lot of cool other features that Isagenix put in here. So let's say that, I'm going to click the photo, and it might be locked. It's unlocked. So I'm going to click the photo, but sometimes it won't let you click the photo, and that might be because there's an overlay on top. So there is. So you saw that I couldn't click that photo. If I go back to these managed layers, there's actually an overlay on top of that. So if I unclick that and I click this, that overlay is actually on top, which is kind of tricky. So in order to get to that photo, you actually have to move the overlay over, which is kind of annoying. But now I can click my photo and I can delete it. And there's another picture behind there, but we're gonna upload a different one. My recognition folder is already up here. Let's use a picture of our friend Eric Chen. So we're gonna plug him in there, and it should just plug in there right away, which is awesome. So he's already in there. Now let's say that like I don't like this and I wanna make it smaller. You can actually click this little refresher button, and it'll reset the whole picture size, and that way you can make it whatever size that you'd like. So let's say that I only want it like this big. I wouldn't recommend that because then you have that background there, but you can make it whatever you'd like. So let's say we've got Eric there. That looks really good. I can move my overlay back since we already are done with that. So I'll just move that back there. But let's say I really hate this yellow color and I don't like it. So what I can do is I have to go to layers because it wouldn't let me click on it. And that line is actually locked. So I'll have to unclick the lock button on the line. I'm going to click the line right there. It's yellow, so this is how you can change the colors. Let's say I want to make this pink. We have that then, and then let's say I also want to add like an Isagenix logo or something. What I can do is I go to these photos and there's an Isagenix logo here. There's have like some cute little logos. They have like the Isa guy, they've got the new one, they have them in gray, black, and you can actually change the colors of these too. So if I want this blue Isa guy, I can actually click the Isa guy and I go back up here to fill. I can actually change the color. So I can change it to a pink one or a yellow one or a green one. We'll make it black for this picture. And I can make this any size I want and I can put this anywhere I want. Now, let's say also that maybe I want to do like a product post. So I'll move my overlay again. I'm going to click my picture of Eric, and let's say I just want to do like a cool product post. So if I go back to these photos up here where upload images, I have to click that. Oops. And they have these really cool stock photos. So they have Europe stock photos, which I saw that they just uploaded, and they have North American stock photos. So they've got all different types of stuff, and they look really, really good, guys. So if you want to make like a poster for celebration, you can click this picture here. And sometimes it does get like weird. You have to like click the picture again. So you can just plug it in right there. Like they have some really good stock photos. So let's try that again. We can put this one in there. The heart booster. I've used a lot of these ones with the computers. I think those are really clean and nice looking. So you can do that there. And I actually use this picture a lot for like our team photos or our team Junto calls. So there's some really good stock photos in there. But let's say that you wanted to do like a product post. You can just click this eShot thing. You can move the picture over a little bit so the eShot's kind of in the top corner, or you can move that down a little bit more. We can move our overlay back so that those layers show up. And I can type in natural energy. And I just need to move these down here. And I can also do like nature's answer to fatigue or whatever I want to do. Yeah, so that's really simple. And you guys can use those different filters. So they've got some really great stuff in there. Obviously, you've got your font sizes up here. That's not too complicated to figure out. And you can do whatever you like there. So hopefully you guys can see how adaptable this is. Now, I will say, let's go back. You can add in like different shapes too. So like they have like this is actually like a shape. This is an overlay. This is actually like a big square that they have, and they actually they change the transparency of it. So I'll delete this so you guys can see that. So I'm going to delete that overlay. And let's say I want to make the whole picture like darker or something. What I can do is I just click this big square here. And it's a big black square, but you just make it huge. Okay. And that doesn't look great. But what you can do is if you go to this top button and you click transparency, you can actually make that like 6% or 21% or 45%. And I can make it pink. And I can make it a little bit more transparent. And what also you can do is you can actually change how the angle of the square. And so that's how they got that overlay. And they can move it this way. And you just have to make it bigger. So it does take a little bit of creativity, but I love doing this kind of stuff. But if you guys don't, you don't have to. And so you see how though this big square is kind of covering my words. I probably want to move my words on top of that. So what we would need to do to fix that is instead of making the words darker, we can actually put the words on top of this big square. So you have to go back to layers. And I know that this is on top because the bottom is the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drag my square all the way up here. And that looks a little better. For it to come through, I probably need to make the transparency a little bit thicker like that, or I would just need a darker one. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty simple. from that standpoint. I really do like playing with this kind of stuff. I'll show you guys one more before I don't want to take too long or bore you guys, but this stuff is really, really fun. One thing that I've done, I've really enjoyed, I know that a lot of you were on the Scott Aaron call, and maybe you want to make a really good LinkedIn banner. They have some really great, and I've gotten some really good stuff too. So like, let's say, sorry, I'll go off topic. If you have a sip and sample event, I've made a really pretty Super Saturday and sip and sample event. Let me see if the template that I love is here. Might not be. They updated a lot of stuff. Oh, the sip and social. Yeah, so this is the one that I really liked. So literally, guys, if you have a sip and sample coming up, I love this template. It's so cute. Just get a really good picture of you and your girlfriends and put it in the back there. If you don't like pink, you can actually change those colors. You can change the date and the times and all that other stuff. So let's say you hate that color pink. We're going to unlock our layers because it wouldn't let me click on it. I can change this to dark blue. I can change this one to, let's see the overlay. I can change this one to white. I can change these words to black so that they stand out. Promote women for women. You don't even have to change the wording if you don't want to. So you can just change all of this stuff here, and I can put in my own info. Again, you just need to plug in your own picture, and that's it. Super, super simple. If you really don't feel like playing with the layers and stuff, you're just kind of fed up and you just want your own picture in there and you don't want to move things around, literally all you need to do is just upload the picture that you want. And you just need to move it to the back, if that makes sense. So this picture, let's say I want this in the background, but I don't want this picture there. I just make this big, so it covers the whole screen, and I go down to my layers. I'm gonna move my picture of Haley all the way almost to the top, but in front of that other image. So that's the image in front, and that looks pretty cute actually. So that's pretty simple. So if you have any events coming up, this is a really super easy way to do that. I will say, so there are some things you actually can't delete here just because of like the things that Isagenix has put on there, and I actually do think they're under training events. So under some of these sip and samples or these Super Saturdays, they have disclaimers at the bottom, and you actually can't delete them, which is kind of annoying. And I know it's like a legal thing, but I hate them. So I'll actually just like, usually like cover them with another something. So like this right down here, the disclaimer, if you go to your thing, it actually won't let you move it at all. So what you can do is you can actually move it underneath all of your other things, but this one's blocked, like it won't even let you unlock it. So in this case, what I would do is honestly, like I would just like pick up like a different shape, like this one. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I can undo that. Oops. Okay. So what I would do is I would just get like a black shape or something, and I would make it really big, and probably just like cover it up or something, make it like cool. You could like layer it, like copy and paste another one, and like make them like cool different colors or something. So you can do that and like make it like transparent and like kind of fun. I don't know. I don't like the disclaimers because I think they're kind of weird, but you do you. It doesn't matter. That still looks pretty good. So you can do whatever you like, but just so you know, that's something you actually can't delete. And I think that's just the legal thing. And then, like I said before, if you have like a YouTube channel or if you have a team YouTube page, you can actually make social media banners, or you can also make LinkedIn banners. And they actually have them all organized right up here for you. So if you have a LinkedIn one, I actually made mine here. And this doesn't have to be Isagenix, like I said, like this is very transferable to your social media and your life. So if you want to do like your own picture for your own LinkedIn banner, you can go there. They also have some really cool ones for personal branding, which is pretty nice. You know, like success stories, or like you could definitely plug your own picture in there and quote yourself. All different types of stuff, like just really, really cool things. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. You guys use this because this is such a good tool. And if you don't have it already, make sure you get this. You can only get it for your Isagenix account, so it's not something you can share, but I promise you guys it's so so worth it. I really have enjoyed using this a lot. It's made a big difference in our team page, and it just looks really, really clean. So there's a whole lot of other different things that you can do. They have like the new promotion one. This was actually new. I haven't had a chance to look at this, but if there's like the Grand Cayman Challenge, that's like right here. So you can make a quick little post, or if you qualify for Global Top Achievers, you can plug yourself in there. They've already got some stuff neat for you. So, and they also have some really good recipe ones as well. So if you go to products, you can actually go to recipe templates, and if you already have a really good recipe, you can literally just plug it, like make sure you have your own picture and your own recipe. You can literally just plug it into here. And it's pretty simple. They've got some really nice clean ones in here already. They also have like fast facts about Isagenix products, which you don't even need to change. You can just post these as is, and if you want to add in your own wording, you definitely can. But hopefully you guys see the benefit in this. I love this social media design studio. This is like a lot better than I was using a few other programs, like Canva's still really good, and so was like Adobe Spark and things like that. But this one's just really nice for it saves everything in one spot, and it's also just very clean, and it already has the Isagenix logos in it, the colors. You can create your own themes, things like that. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. And it's something that you guys can partake in later. So I hope you guys have a great night. Hopefully Cindy can answer your questions for you if I didn't answer them while I'm here. And if there are more questions, Cindy, you can just take some questions, and maybe I can do like another Facebook Live or something in the group chat to answer any more questions if those tutorials can't. So have a good night, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, guys. So a couple things, and I think Zoe is actually, oh dear, hang on. Oh my. Sorry about that. Geez, yeah, let's do some dancing. Zoe is actually on the phone. They've landed, so we can take a couple questions. Couple things I want to say as I watched her video, and I've watched it twice now. Couple things that I love. I don't know about you guys, but the one thing that, and this is not my genius, I get stressed out trying to come up with things to post all the time. So having things already there that we could post about the products, oh my gosh, can that save time? Having things already set up for those of you that aren't creative, and if you don't want to change colors and you don't want to change things, you don't have to. For those of you that like to play around a little bit and you're a little more creative and you want to use your creative energy, oh my gosh, the things you can do with this are absolutely endless. So I loved that. Another thing that's caused me frustration over the years, and you could ask, poor Susan always gets the brunt of my, I don't get this, but I'll go to change a Facebook border on things and it's never the right pixels. Anybody else have this happen to you? If you've got a Facebook group, please say yes. Thank you, Val. And it's so frustrating. I'll try to save all these pictures and they're never the right pixel. So having banners already the right size for LinkedIn, for Facebook, that is huge. Then you can just personalize it the way that you want. Those of you that have your own team pages, those of you that do recognition, you guys always remember ISA for Wealth is your team page as well. So if you have your own team pages and you like to do your recognition, they're great. But if you don't, please utilize that. ISA for Wealth is our business page for you to recognize your team members. So use that. And then the other thing I wanted to say was I was cracking up at Zoe's disclaimer thing, and some of the disclaimers they have on things, not necessary. But now always keep in mind, if you are doing a wealth post where there's dollars involved, or if you're doing a weight loss post, you have to have a disclaimer somewhere. It doesn't have to be on the poster. So if you want to black that out like she did, and you just want to put it in your words when you're making your post, that's fine. You want to have your disclaimers on those two things only. But like they had some, like on a Super Saturday post, just because you were going to be talking about income, it didn't say anything about dollars. That would be unnecessary. But if you are saying, someone is making, $60,000 a year, then you'll want to make sure if it's not on the poster, you're putting it in your post. So those are the few things I wanted to say. Does anyone have any comments or questions? We can take a few before we close and wrap up the call. Go ahead, Ann. Did that help you with the layering?
Yeah, I made mine right while I was doing it. I figured something out. Well, forget the man in the background. There was a man in the back, but one of the questions I have is there was one of the graphics I love where the woman was in a triangle. I know Ron is on the call. I was trying to get Ron in this triangle and I could not, like, am I supposed to crop the picture? Like I didn't know how to get her picture into the triangle where the other lady's picture was.
Zoe,
yeah. So one, the picture might be locked. So what I would do, I know which one you're talking about, but I actually haven't opened it, but I've seen it and I haven't used it yet, but it is really cute. But you might need to, so there might be an overlay on top of it and it might be locked. But the way that you know that you're clicking on a picture is once you click on the picture, you double click it. At that, the right side of the screen, you actually should see a black bar that says replace image, if that makes sense. And
yep,
once that says replace image, then it should put the image in there.
It should fit it in the triangle, right?
Yes, it should.
I'm like done. I just did a square. I'm so done. I've tried it. Like I've been doing this for 3 hours. So thank you.
Yeah, there's little tricks. Like I didn't understand the layering thing at all. So once you figured out how to unlock and layer, that just like opened up a whole new world. Yes, Lori.
Zoe, that was awesome. I hadn't really taken a close look because I use so many other apps and I'm comfortable with them to do it. But then once I saw the product stuff and everything, that's amazing. So thank you. And then here's a question I have, just because Zoe, you were saying you do a lot of recognition for your team. And I know we're, of course, encouraged to do all kinds of recognition, but where do you find is the most appropriate way to do that? Because I have recently been talking to a lot of people that say, I shouldn't say a lot of people, some social media experts that say not to post recognition about your team on your public pages because no one cares. I don't know if that's true or not. But that the people who are really influenced by it, inspired by it, are the people who are already on your team. So do you do a huge amount of it within your team page and then the rest in stories? Like, do you really, because I'm looking at your Facebook, I haven't gone over to Instagram, but what do you think works the best to attract people to your business? Not like, because I could be doing recognition all day long if I really wanted to dig deep in vitamins and everything, you know, so.
Yeah, so so we don't have a Facebook page anymore. We actually moved our entire team to Instagram just because it was getting lost in the feed, and our generation just doesn't really use Facebook a whole lot anymore. So people were responding a lot better to Instagram. So most of those things that you saw in that folder were actually for our Instagram team page, because every week I do the same weekly recognition that Cindy does, but I use graphics and I just do like a smaller post because we only have like a handful of really good leaders with, you know, a handful of like consultants and things like that. So I'll use that for that. But I will also use that for, I really like creating FOMO with people. So I like to do a lot of welcome posts through my Instagram story. My personal feed, you will not see any recognition whatsoever on like my personal feed, because that's just supposed to show my lifestyle and the lifestyle that Isagenix has created for Tyler and I and our team. And that's kind of where like highlights would come into view. I'm in the process of redoing my highlights. I need to do a better job of that. I've been kind of stretched them with like posting a lot of stuff, but that's where I would kind of post that. You know, anytime that, you know, you have team members making money, that's a good place to put that, like for an Instagram highlight. And if you don't know what that is, literally Google it, watch a 10-minute YouTube video on it. It's not hard to create at all. It's not hard to create. Like they show you all of that stuff on YouTube, so you can just Google that. But if you want to create like a recognition highlight, Instagram would be a great place to do that. And I believe Facebook also has a highlight reel. But I don't know that, I personally wouldn't put that on my own page just because I don't want people to see that on the forefront. I would only want that in highlights, and I would only want that in stories, if that makes sense. So the only thing that I post recognition for on my public page is in my Instagram stories. And it's when I'm welcoming new members, like new girlfriends joining the club, and when also one of my team members has like a really great week.
So what if someone promotes to 3-star, 2-star, 1-star? Do you put that in your highlights only? Like that, I put all the recognition in my stories on Instagram. I don't put any on my feed. But
yeah, so I would honestly, I would post a picture. If I really wanted to put it on my feed, I would find a really cute picture that they've already posted on Instagram. I would like filter it so it matches my thing, and I would make a really great vague post saying, super proud of this girl. She hit an incredible rank in our company. She, like, the rank that she hit, like, basically means that she's making a residual 6 figures a year. She's worked so hard. She's brought so much to this team, blah, 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 blah. Like, creating that FOMO for people in terms of, like, what they've done, not necessarily saying that they're in Isagenix, that they are a 3-star, that they, like, have this many consultants and things like that. I would just more so just say what they've achieved and just really give people the vibe of the community that we're a part of. And I wouldn't use, I would maybe use like the Isagenix Design Studio, but I wouldn't have any Isagenix logo on it. I wouldn't have 3-star on it. And that's just me personally, but I would put, you know, that in Start, like the Start group. I would put that everywhere.
Yeah.
I would put
So,
that
then the question
probably
is,
on.
in order for them to shine, because on Instagram, they're not shining from me posting about it because it doesn't show up anywhere for them. So, I mean, they see it, but it doesn't show up for them, for their people to see. So my whole point of recognition is more for them. So your suggestion is put it either in our team pages or maybe the Isagenix recognition page. Like I see Trudy Maples putting all, like I don't put any of my people in there. Should I be putting, she puts like all her people in.
I'm like almost off Facebook. I only use Facebook because I'm just copying my Instagram posts. The most effective way that it's really popular with Start Group, is you post an Instagram story and you actually have to physically tag the person in the Instagram story, because when you tag somebody in an Instagram story, they can actually repost it.
Yeah.
Because, and when they repost it, when you actually tag them, they get a notification so they can share it. And so you can actually tag all of your team members and then they can share it. And so that's how like you kind of do that. And then that's where you see it show up, and then people screenshot it, they'll share it in their stories. And so that's where you see a lot of recognition there. And the more your team reposts it, the more it shows up, the more recognized they feel. Like I have people that like join my team and I just say, super proud of this girl for joining our team and getting healthy. And they're like, oh my gosh, like you featured me on your Instagram story. Like, thank you so much. And I'm like, it's literally no problem. But like, it means the world to them just because that's kind of like where, so I guess it depends on where if you're not on Instagram anywhere, I wouldn't worry about it. I would maybe just do Facebook. But I would maybe do Facebook. I know that Facebook story is a little bit different, so that might be a little bit different. But I mean, if tagging people, recognizing them on your public page is working, then I would just use that, if that makes sense.
So, but the thing is, like,
was that helpful? Did I answer?
Yeah, I can tell someone was talking.
Yeah, I thought someone else was too. What I was going to say, you know, what Lori's point is so valid. So many of us, you know, have been around for several years, and we have grown our business on Facebook, and we have done it all on our walls. And so now we're hearing that when we post so-and-so rank advance or so-and-so's an influencer, you know, we just did a whole round of congratulating all of our influencers, and they're saying our prospects are looking at that, and that does not appeal to them. They're not excited about that. Sometimes they roll their eyes when they see us, blah, 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 blah. So as things changed and algorithms changed, now what we're hearing, which is so uncomfortable for some of us, is that we need to make a change, and we need to stop doing that on our walls. You know, with Instagram, it's pretty easy. Instagram is so aesthetically pleasing. So when Zoe was saying if she did do a recognition for a big promotion like that, she would have to make it the color theme of her Instagram, because everybody's kind of doing it aesthetically, you know, pleasing, and there's color themes to it and all of that. And it wouldn't say Isagenix all over it. So it's very, very different. So the story can do all of that if you're doing Instagram, and you can figure out ways to do it on Facebook. Put it in your team pages, shout them out in the business pages for sure. But they're saying that one of the things we really shouldn't be doing is liking and commenting on each other's posts anymore, because the algorithms have changed again. And when we do that and all we do is comment on each other's stuff and love on each other, we're missing out on our prospects. They're not seeing us and we're not seeing them. So it's very, like, things are changing. So we'll keep getting some experts on here to talk more about that, because, you know, we have to be up with the times and change with the times too. So this has been so helpful. I hope you guys find this as helpful as me. Any more questions before we wrap up, or comments? Anybody else using it that has anything they want to share? Yeah, Lisa, please. Oh,
No, I was just saying I just recently started using it and I love it so far. And there's so much you can do with it. So it's just a matter of just jumping in, dedicating the time and doing it. So
just to clarify, the only time we would put 3-star and all this stuff, I mean, if we're changing, let's just say we are, then it would go in the team pages only.
Yeah, for the most part, like I mean, honestly, like I would probably put that on my story. I would probably put 3-star on like my Instagram story. One, and the reason stories are cool is because it's 24 hours. So like, you know, not everybody's going to see it, but I make sure I post something in my story, or I try to post in my story every day of either like something going on in the business or someone making money or something exciting happening, because I get new followers every day and I want them to see that in that highlight reel. So I wouldn't put it on my personal feed. Like when you go to my Instagram page and you're looking through my profile, I wouldn't put that on my feed, but that's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of different people do that. Like I think the McLeods do that. So it honestly just depends on like what works for you. I personally don't like that because I feel like people will go Google 3-star and they'll find Isagenix, and then they're going down the rabbit hole of like all the garbage articles written about Isagenix. I want to create curiosity. So I want people to see a picture of a gorgeous girl. She made $500 this week, and it was because she was helping people. Or like, wait, like I like to help people. I would like this lifestyle. Like, and then they reach out, they say, hey Zoe, like how did that girl make $500? I saw that it had to do something with lifestyle nutrition. I'd like to learn more. And so that's the reason I do that. I'm not trying to be secretive about Isagenix, but it's really just creating mystery and creating curiosity for people so that they feel like, one, I'm not selling anything on my page because I'm not. I'm just showing people a lifestyle, and two, that it's for everybody and they feel invited enough to ask about it.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. And I hope if this is something you're not utilizing, you see the value in it. And I know, it can be overwhelming. I'm definitely someone that changing how I do things, learning new things, and especially all of the things available to us can be overwhelming. So, baby steps. If something, like this is something that's exciting you, you could certainly sign up for it. Do it easy at first. Maybe don't make so many changes. Just do it. There's easier ways to do it. Then if you get a little more comfortable with it and you want to start playing with it a little more, you can be certainly super creative with it as well. And let's share ideas. So as you guys start to play with it and learn it, if you found something new and different that you've done and you've enjoyed, share in the business page, share in ISA for Wealth, because what you are doing might really help and inspire someone else. So I hope this was helpful. Zoe, thank you. I know traveling, this was a challenge for you, and I really appreciate you getting this done for us tonight and helping us. And guys, we'll see you next week on our team call. Have a fabulous week, everybody. Thank you. Bye, everyone.